and welcome to a brand new year of Eagles football. I'm Nate Jarecki.
I'm Kyle Gwynn.
And we got a great one today. We opened the season with the Mission Bowl play-in game, non-conference BCHS Eagles against the Garces Rams, crosstown private school, religious school rivalry. Kyle, you looking forward to this one?
Of course, I'm looking forward to this game. Every rivalry game's a very exciting one. You know, we're going to see a tightly contested matchup as we always do in rivalry games. These guys, both teams really want to win this game since it is a rivalry game, and I do too, so I'm very excited about this one.
Yeah, definitely going to be a new season for the Eagles, returning a lot of their starters, but it's going to be key to fill in that quarterback position. Jake Moran, who was the starting quarterback last year, started most of the season, but Dominic Gamboni, who split time with him, is going to get the full job this year, hoping to step in and fill in that role that Moran played.
Yeah, Moran played a big role last year, and you know, we did see instances of Gamboni playing, like against Oaks Christian and Faith Lutheran, and he did a pretty decent job. So if he can continue his progression, he should fill in that role quite nicely.
Yeah, replacing the wide receivers are going to be a key factor. You got Keontae Glinton, who's off to the University of Wyoming to play football this year. Myron Randall's gone. A lot of those star wide receivers are gone. So who's going to fill in those roles?
You know, you got to look at Chris Gutierrez. We might see him at wide receiver. He played a little bit there last year. But then we also got to look at some of the transfers, maybe Ronnie Simrel, Sean Warren, a couple of those guys to fill the roles, as well as Nate Schmidt. So look out for those guys. And then, of course, you got to look at the tight end position with Stanford commit Ben Urosek. You know, he was a monster last season. He had 27 catches for 329 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just an absolute monster at tight end as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Urosek. He's not only a great factor on the offense, but he's also a great factor on the defense, naming league MVP on the defense side of the ball. Who else on the defense are you going to look at?
You know, they did lose Tate Edinburgh, who was their leading tackler, but you got to look at, again, some of the transfers, like we already said, Simrel, Warren. We also got to look at guys like Stevenson, who's also another transfer. Also, Mason Brinsfield, another transfer. You know, the Eagles have a lot of transfers to fill in those roles, but there you got some pretty good ones.
Yeah, no, these transfers are going to play a key factor. Now let's look and turn to Garces. Garces is coming off 2 straight Mission Bowl losses. Eagles looking to get their 3rd in a row. From the quarterback possession for Garces, there's already some drama happening early in the season.
Yeah, Joseph Campbell, early in practices, he got diagnosed with valley fever, so he's going to be out for this game. And in his place, the Garces Rams are going to be having wide receiver Isaiah Bell taking most of those snaps. So it should be interesting to see how they play with a wide receiver and not that spread offense they were expecting to go in with.
Yeah, and brand new head coach for the Garces Rams. They're going to have Gala, who came in over from BCHS. Garces is able to get him this offseason. It's going to be a completely new offense for Garces, and a little storyline beforehand. Well, first we're going to head to the national anthem at this time. And we'll come back right after the national anthem.
Student Liberty Rose, the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing as student Lexi Rainish leads us in prayer.
And we are back after the national anthem. Wonderful rendition of the national anthem by BCHS senior Liberty Roach, who has released an album trying to pursue that career as a singer. And then a great prayer by senior Lexi Rainish. We're about to get going here on the campus of Bakersfield Christian with the BCHS Eagles playing the Garces Rams in the 2019 edition of the Mission Bowl. But yeah, going back to that storyline, BCHS head coach Darren Carr coached under Gala, who's Garces' head coach now, in 2013 when they both went on that state run for BHS where they won in 2013.
Yeah, both of them saw a lot of success at their time at BHS. 5 D1 section titles. That's certainly impressive, and to see the two face off now for the first time should be very interesting.
Yeah, Coach Carr definitely knows Gala pretty well. And we're about to get going. Dallas to kick it off for the Rams. And the 2019 BCHS football season is underway. And already a bad start as they bobbled it in the end zone. It hits in the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback right away. So quarterback Dominic Gamboni is going to come onto the field and get things started right away. That was Chris Gutierrez back that missed the kickoff, and the Eagles are going to start it from the 20-yard line.
Should be interesting to see what we get here from the Eagles on offense. Like we said, new quarterback, lose their top 3 receivers and their leading rusher. So let's see who's able to fill in that role.
First play of the game, Stevenson gets the handoff, takes a hit, then goes down, gets it for about a gain of 2 to the 23.
Yeah, a solid run. And last year we didn't see that at the beginning of, actually, in the first game of the Mission Bowl. We didn't see a lot of running from the Eagles. And here we go right away with the Eagles starting off on the ground, and they get a decent enough gain there.
Yeah, Stevenson's a transfer from Centennial, and before that he was a transfer from BHS to Centennial, looking to fill that role that Dante Harris had last year for the Eagles.
Yeah, Dante played a big role. He even had a over 300-yard game rushing as the Eagles go right to Stanford commit Ben Jurasic.
Yeah, they run a screen to Jurasic. He gets a couple on the play up to the 27. It's going to bring it up a 3rd and short right away.
The Eagles are probably going to be going to Jurasic a lot. He's got a great frame at 6'5", 220. He's able to get open, very athletic. So expect to see his name, or hear his name called a lot.
And he will be playing on Saturdays. Was a pretty highly recruited recruit. He had offers from the University of Washington, Oregon, and so much more. As Gamboni takes a snap, throws one to the outside to Gutierrez. Gutierrez gets the game and bowls his way over for a first down up to the 37-yard line. That's good for the Eagles' first down.
Yeah, while Gutierrez might not be that big, he showed that he can get right in there with the biggest of them with a huge hit to gain a couple extra yards.
Yeah, we've had a real blessing to see Gutierrez grow up here in this BCHS home. His freshman year, he didn't play football, focused on basketball, made the varsity basketball team. Big and showing his strength there as he's had since his freshman year. As Gamboni takes a snap, he's going to roll out right, throws, and that is deflected on the play. Great defense by Garces.
Yeah, good read there by Garces to break up the Eagles' momentum. They just had 3 plays where they were able to get positive yardage. So good there by the Rams defense.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 right away. Tied ball game early, this one. 10-10 to go here in the first quarter. Eagles on their opening drive. Gotten a first down with a couple of passes completed by Gamboni and a rush by David Stevenson. 2nd and 10. Gamboni takes a snap. They're going to run another screen to Jurasic. Jurasic blows past the guy, and he keeps on pushing. And he goes all the way to the 47, wow!
That's why he's a D1 athlete. Just could not go down. Showed off his mind. Wow. What a play there by Jarecki.
Yeah, absolutely bulldozing the defense all the way for a first down. Caught that about a yard or two past the line of scrimmage and just using his strength to keep pushing for more yards.
It's quite impressive.
Already showing how elusive and powerful Jarecki is here in this early season. Gamboni takes a snap, throws, gets the pass completed to Simrall, and Simrall gets a couple of yards on that play up to the 43-yard line. It's going to bring up a second and mid-range.
Yeah, right now we were seeing the Eagles kind of go short with their passing game, not taking a lot of chances, and it's been working out for them. They've got at least 5 yards on almost all of them. Garces really hasn't had an answer, and the Eagles have a lot of momentum right now.
2nd and 6, they're going to call it. Eagles have a 3-man set with Jarecki, the tight end. Stevenson in the backfield. Takes the snap. Gamboni's looking to his left. He's going to take a big shot. Has Simrall! He no! Looked like he caught it, then it just fell out of his hands.
Yeah, like I was talking about how the Eagles hadn't taken any chances. And they took one right there. Almost were able to get a big gain there on 2nd down. Unable to convert. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, it was a close play. It looked like he had it in his hands. He's falling down and couldn't hang on. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. Eagles already flirted with 3rd down a couple of times on this drive. Here they go again. Gamboni takes a snap, looks left, finds Simrall, stiff arms and fumbled it, and Garces is going to get the ball.
It looked like Simrall was going to able to run a little bit, able to get past the defender, but it just comes out of his hands.
Yeah, it looked like when he stiff-armed the guy, he didn't hit his hand, he had him on the chest, and when he threw him to the side, the guy just stuck his hand in there and able to rip the ball out. It's going to be Garces' ball from their own 39. And here's this new Garces offense that we're going to run. Bell, the quarterback, takes the snap, and it's up the middle already and gets nothing, maybe a yard or two.
Yeah, we're not going to really see Garces kind of go long in the passing game. They're going to keep it fairly short or just keep it on the ground mostly.
Yeah, there was reports I heard before the week saying that Bell could only throw the ball about 14 yards, and that was it. But Bell is that athletic quarterback Gall loves to use.
Yeah, we've seen in previous BHS years, like last year they had Cameron Williams, who's now at Washington, play the quarterback position, even though he's really a DB. As the Eagles will pick up a penalty.
And encroachment right away. And it's going to move the ball up to the 47-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and short now. Bell under center. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle once again. And sure, you can see Eagles players trying to rip the ball out. Foster was up there, saw his hand go up, trying to strip it out a couple of times.
Yeah, right now the Rams just look like they're trying to just pound it in there, get a couple of yards, but they really haven't been able to get anything, but they were able to get a first down due to the penalty, helped them get a few extra yards.
They're going to get the first down there with the run up the middle to the 50. Nothing really that exciting about this Garces offense. Now, this is the first time we're going to see Bella not under center as he's in the shotgun.
Yeah, so this is maybe where we might see a little more excitement from Garces. Maybe to try and get Bell to run out wide as the Eagles will call a early timeout here with 8:11 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, rare timeout early in the quarter. We see Coach Carr try to save those timeouts towards the end of half in previous years. But burning the first one early.
I think with the early penalty they picked up, Coach Carr's trying to calm the Eagles down a little bit, allow them to gain their footing, get more comfortable here.
With the hashtag Fishing Bowl 2019.
Tied 0-0 early in the first quarter. Eagles looking for their third straight Mission Bowl victory.
You know, last year was a very exciting Milk Bowl. To start, it wasn't really much. The BCHS was down to begin with. They were able to battle their way back in the second half and ended up winning that game 27-24. Also, it was a long game, went all the way as the D1 commit Jarecki once again showing off the athleticism, able to track down Bell, trying to go out wide there.
Yeah, and Jarecki's going to Stanford as a tight end, but a lot of colleges were looking at him as a defender. He's had a greater impact on the defense, but he has better potential as a tight end.
Yeah, he had a bevy of options. You know, he could go play tight end at Stanford, or he could go play on defense, maybe be an outside linebacker at UCLA or a D end at Notre Dame. So he had a lot of options because of that athleticism of his and his size.
Yeah, and I know the University of Oregon wanted him too. Imagine him and Kayvon Thibodeau on the same field.
Yeah, that would kind of be weird after, you know, it wasn't really Jarecki's fault, but it would be awkward having to go up to him after Kayvon's team beat him 83-0. That would be, I feel like that might be a bit awkward.
Yeah, and the two will play on Saturdays in the future as Oregon and Stanford are both in the Pac-12 North. Bell takes a snap, throws it into the ground. It wasn't an accurate throw at all.
Yeah, we're not going to be seeing a lot of throws from Garces, and that's the reason why. You know, that's what happens when you have to put in a wide receiver at quarterback.
Yeah, that loss to Joseph Campbell is going to be a key factor for Garces, and it's a big storyline. And here it's 3rd and 12 already, and there's normally a passing down. We're going to see what the Rams are going to do. Bell takes a snap. He's going to roll out right. He's going to throw, and it's way past the wide receiver. Overshot him for about 5 yards past him, and it's going to bring up 4th and 12, and the punting team's going to come onto the field.
Yeah, Garces is really going to have trouble with these long third downs. You know, how are they going to be able to complete them? Can't really do it throwing wise, so going to leave them having to run the ball maybe and get 12 yards, but you know, it isn't an easy task.
Gutierrez is going to be back to field the punt. It's going to let it bounce, and it rolls into the end zone for a touchback. So just like their last drive, 2 straight touchbacks, and the Eagles offense is going to come onto the field at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what the Eagles do here in their second drive now. We saw them get momentum, but the fumble derailed that. So if they're able to limit some of the penalties, some of the turnovers, you know, we could see the Eagles just storm down the field here.
Yeah, Jarecki had a couple of great catches. It's not many high school athletes that you get to see play every single down, both offense and defense, and Jarecki is one of those guys.
And not only is he playing offense and defense, he's also the team's punter. Fun fact, he's taking his game to the special teams.
Wow.
Yeah, there he is again.
Catches it. Throw down for an epic stiff move. Oh my goodness.
I don't know what the Garces defender was doing there. I feel like you got to know that that's Jarecki. Try to rip it out, and it's a bold strategy. But it's going to back him up with a holding penalty.
Throw him down. Man, that was aggressive.
Yeah, that's a bold strategy trying to rip it out there. I know they just got the fumble because they ripped it out. But still, when you got a guy that strong, it's not going to cause a lot of fumbles there.
It's going to back the Eagles up all the way to the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up a 1st and 20. Seeing the conservative look, throwing those short passes to the side and trying to let the playmakers gain some yards. Only took that one big shot to Simrall, which wasn't completed.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like they're trying to just go short with Gamboni, get him comfortable, make a few completions, and then try and go for the long ball like we saw with the last drive. And they're going to say that one's incomplete, hit the ground.
Yeah, it looked close. Simrel thought he caught it. Both referees said incomplete. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 20. Jarosik, who was out for the last play, comes back into the game. And Doss gets subbed out.
Yeah, we're going to actually maybe see Doss and Jarosik both at tight end a couple of times this game. You know, last year it was mainly just Jarosik at tight end. This year, a little something different with the Eagles, and especially with this more conservative look, it makes sense to have 2 tight ends out there.
Yeah, they're going to try to run that double tight end set as Gamboni takes a snap, throws, finds Gutierrez. Gutierrez spins away and gets in for about a gain of 15. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that would have been a big gain had the Eagles not had that penalty to move them back 10 yards. And instead they're facing a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it's a great pickup on 2nd and 20 to gain those crucial 15 yards early here in the first quarter. It's tied 0-0 with 6:48 to go here in this Mission Bowl matchup. Seen these DBs play far off the wide receivers already as Gamboni takes a snap. Pressure is coming, throws, and Gutierrez makes the catch, makes a move, and gets up to around the 37-yard line. That's good for an Eagles first down.
Great job there by Gamboni. Saw the pressure coming, able to get it away just in time in order to gain the first down. And the Eagles have done, the wide receivers have done a great job of getting open. You know, there's been a couple drops, but for the most part, the wide receivers of the Eagles doing a great job so far.
Yeah, and what a way to go from 2nd and 20 to 1st and 10. Eagles able to move the chains, and now they're already up to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's a big first down pickup because you're back at the 10. It's really, if you're forced to punt, it's really giving Garces great field position. As they're going to go long, he has a man.
Simrel can't come down with it. Looked like a great pass. Had his arms extended. Couldn't come down with the ball.
Yeah, Simrel's doing a great job of getting open. Just has had a couple big drops so far. The last drive, he had one that would have put the Eagles inside the 20, inside the red zone. This time, that would have put them close to the red zone.
But the incompletion brings up a 2nd and 10 right away.
We've only seen the Eagles run the ball once, and this is how it went last Mission Bowl. We didn't see a lot of running. It's really trying to get their passing game going, and that makes sense when your offense coordinator is a former QB. And speak of the devil, the Eagles will go with a run there to Stevenson. Will only gain a couple yards.
Yeah, Stevenson's not really that much of a speed back. Definitely shifty and elusive, and I'll try to make you miss. He had a great run during the scrimmage last week against East, and we have big high hopes for Stevenson, not only on offense but also on defense.
Yeah, like a lot of these guys on the Eagles, they're going to have to play both ways. You know, when there's less than 500 people at your school, you know, your football team's not going to have the most depth, so a lot of guys are going to have to play both ways.
3rd and 7. Gamboni takes a snap, throws, Stevenson wide open over the middle. He's going to make a move, cut to the outside, and he goes down inside the 45, down to about the 40. They're marking him down at the 43-yard line. Great pickup, first down Eagles.
Yeah, Stevenson able to slip his way through the line, was just wide open, had plenty of room to run for a big first down.
Yeah, good job by Gamboni to find his check down back. Not defended at all. Stevenson able to run and get those extra yardage as Stevenson's going to come out, and Randy Raymond comes in as the backup running back.
Yeah, we saw Randy didn't get a lot of playing time last year. A few injuries allowed him to get some more playing time, but then he had a couple injuries of his own, and they're going to give it to him right away, and he will get about a 5-yard gain there.
Yeah, good pickup by the backup running back. He had that one touchdown, his first ever touchdown, which is a pretty memorable one. He ran it up the middle for about a 20-yard touchdown run, ran down the sideline, and picked up our math teacher, Miss Jansen.
Yes, very ecstatic from Raymond on his first touchdown, and he's hoping to get another one here early in the season.
Yeah, definitely a guy that plays with a lot of heart, very passionate about the game of football. Gamboni takes a snap. They're going to hand it off to Raymond again. He goes the outside, cuts up field, and he gets the first down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, Raymond's already come in for 2 possessions. Already had 2 great gains there to move, keep the chains moving. And the Eagles are just having their way on offense. You know, the first drive most likely probably would have been a touchdown had there not been the fumble. And it looks like they're just storming right down the field again. The Rams have no answer on defense so far.
Yeah, Stevenson back into the game after 2 straight carries by Randy Raymond to get the Eagles inside the 30-yard line. Great pickup that way. Gamboni takes a snap. It was a screen. Pump faked, got the defender to go away, and finally finds Gutierrez, who gets it up to about the 20-yard line for a gain of 8.
That could have been disastrous from Gamboni. He was able to hold on to it for just a second longer and was able to find an open receiver.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Gamboni, because oftentimes last year he'd panic and then just throw it away. This time he pump fakes and finds the open man and gets the screen going so we can get some positive yardage.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for the Eagles to see the growth of Gamboni. As he grows as a player, so will the team. It's going to be crucial if the Eagles want to get back to the section championship game and this time win it.
Yeah, it's going to be a look out, because San Joaquin Memorial has moved up a division and CVC has taken their place. So the road to Valley is going to go through either here or CVC, as Gamboni takes the snap, throws, and gets the first down. And that's completed to his brother, Bo Gamboni.
Oh, would you look at that, the brother connection. You know, they've had to throw the football around a bevy of times at home. We saw it right there.
Yeah, it's the first of many. Bo was on JV last year. He's a junior this year, and the senior quarterback, Dominic, able to find his brother, Bo. Hopefully, first of many's this season as they look to have a huge impact this season. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12, just outside that goal setting, so the Eagles can still get a first down and go again. Gamboni takes a snap, throws to the outside, and it was a little too outside and incomplete.
Yeah, just a little threw too much to the right there. Unable to complete. But still, that's one of the few incompletions Gamboni's had all game.
Yeah, that pass was intended for number 13, Tyler Carr, who is David Carr's son. The junior's hoping to make an impact.
No, Tyler's been in the media as he was on the first episode of Hard Knocks. Very cool to see him on there.
They're going to run a screen to Stevenson, gets it to him, but that's about it. Doesn't really gain anything, maybe a yard or two, and it's going to bring up a long 3rd down.
This is a incredibly crucial first down, and you know, the stick's right at the goal line basically, so they get a first down. It's most likely going to be a touchdown, and that's going to be huge to start off this first quarter. You know, you don't want to make it all the way back from the 10 and just have to kick a field goal.
Eagles going to spread them out here. You got Lendell Henderson on the left side as they're going to throw an out route, and he gets nothing.
That was seemed like in this those last 3 plays, the Rams defense made an adjustment, not allowing for those screen passes, and it will force a 4th down. It looks like the offense going to stay on the field.
Yeah, and I think with that call, that conservative call just to throw an out route right there, they knew they were going to go for 4th down.
Yeah, they were hoping to get a couple yards there, then be able to convert on 4th. Unable to get anything, so it's going to put them in a hole. It brings up a huge play right here as the first quarter is winding down.
Again, Lendell Henderson is on the far left, has that height. Let's see if they're going to throw a fade, and before that, there's going to be a timeout by Garces. There was tons of space to the left side. Gamboni would have just had to get it there, but timeout for Garces with 1:08 to go here in the first quarter. Tied 0-0. Kyle, what are your impressions so far?
My impression so far is that the Eagles have done a great job on offense, finding the open man, able to find a lot of open space as well, and they've just drove down the field. You know, they had the one fumble that was crucial, but for the most part, great job on offense, and then they only had really 1 3 plays on defense, and they did a great job there. Just Garces has seemed to not really get anything going, but luckily for them, it's almost the end of the first quarter, and the score is still tied 0-0.
Yeah, a lot closer than we anticipated. Each team, Garces only having 1 offensive possession, Eagles having, this is their 2nd possession, taking up a majority of this time so far.
Yeah, time of possession is huge in football. The fact that the Eagles have basically had it for about 10 minutes or so, it feels like they've just been in control of the entire game. It's a good sign for the Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles opening drive. They were driving down the field in Garces territory when Ronald Simmerl fumbled the ball, and that stalled the drive. Garces able to get the fumble recovery, run a couple of plays, get a first down, and then a long 3rd down was incomplete, and they had to punt it back to the Eagles. And since then, it's been Eagles' ball as Garces is going to burn another timeout. That's 2 in a row right here.
Yeah, they once again didn't like what they were seeing. They call another timeout, and this is a crucial play. So Eagles are looking to get on the board first. And new head coach Paul Gola taking no chances right now. But those 2 timeouts could prove crucial if the Rams do have something going towards the end of the second quarter going into the half. And they only have 1 timeout. Could spell trouble for them later on.
Exciting day here, Mission Bowl game between the Bakersfield Christian Eagles and the Garces Memorial Rams. A lot of fun activities today. We had the rally going on today. Each classes had to wear a different color. Seniors were wearing black, juniors were wearing blue, sophomores yellow, and freshmen white to represent the BCHS Eagles colors. A lot of fun stuff. We had our first game day today. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that because we had tons of fun today. Mr. Chai and Mr. Thiessen were our guests.
Yeah, the game days are super fun. You know, we only had 4 games really to go over today. You know, college football just getting underway as they're going to throw it up and
incomplete. They took a shot on 4th down for the end zone. Gutierrez was the intended receiver, can't come down with it, and we're going to still stay tied 0-0.
Yeah, those 2 timeouts paid off for the Rams. They were able to get a crucial stop, but now stuck on their own 10-yard line. And with them not being able to throw the ball downfield very much, we could see the Eagles regain great field possession in just a couple plays.
Yeah. Eagles are going to load the box. They only have that 1 high safety. And now Raymond's going to come back off.
A couple times we've seen a little confusion with who's going to be the safety, who's going to be the corner here between Simmerl and Raymond. They've been able to figure it out so far. Hasn't really hurt them as Garces is just going to take it straight at the line.
I think it was bobbled, the snap.
Rams run the ball right up the gut. Didn't get a number.
Yeah, we're going to see the Rams try and run it just right at the Eagles. They had high hopes for their offensive line, think they're one of the best in the section, and right now they haven't been able to create enough space for Bell to get through and get a sizable gain.
Bell under center once again. 25 seconds to go. This could be the last play of the first quarter. Hands it up the middle, and the Eagles are all over it. And looks like a fumble. Eagles saying they have it. No word from the referee.
Yeah, looked like number 8, Jess Wadenbarger, came away with it.
And they're going to say he was down. No gain on the play.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. That could have been a huge break. You know, it was so clumped up right there with the way Garces is playing. The referees weren't able to see it, but that will end the first quarter with the score tied 0-0.
Pretty eventful first quarter. Actually,
well, it was
not as much.
It was eventful, but no points to show for it.
But exciting times. Opening season for BCHS football. We'll be right back for the start of the second quarter right after this. And we are back for the start of the second quarter. 2nd and 9 coming up for Garces. They're going to run the sweep. They're going to hand it to Bell. Bell trying to make a move, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Interesting play call there by Garces because it was the first time we saw Jalen Smith, who's a running back, actually take the snap. And he gave it right off to Isaiah Bell, who had been playing quarterback. And that's going to bring up fourth down. And Garces forced to punt in their own end zone.
It was 4th down. The scoreboard read 2nd down. A little confused
Can't
there.
trust the scoreboard.
Unfortunate already. Snap was low. Kick is up. Gutierrez going to let it bounce. Takes a BCHS bounce, and it rolls all the way to the 30. There's a couple of flags down.
Yeah, it looked like some Eagles and Rams players getting into it on the far side of the field. I'm guessing that's what that flag's about. But the Eagles are going to have great possession going into their third drive.
I want to see what these flags are, but great possession. This will be the best field possession the Eagles have had. It's a flag against the Eagles. But it's still going to be our ball.
So far, the penalty count, 3 against the Eagles, none against the Rams so far.
Not looking too hot.
But the Eagles have been able to recover from their penalties, able to get some first downs, but still no points to score for it. But with this great field possession, they certainly have a great shot.
Refs discussing where the ball will be placed. And it's going to be moved back all the way to the 42-yard line. Still the best field possession of the game for the Eagles. Going to get the ball on Garces' territory.
For this whole first half, we might just see BCHS dominate the field position with the way the Rams have their offense structured so far. You know, at BHS, Gola, the head coach of the Rams now, ran a lot of triple option. We haven't really seen that yet.
As they run the fly sweep to Gutierrez. Gutierrez can't find anything, and he gets brought down a yard or two behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Gutierrez kept trying to find a hole, just unable to do anything.
Student section packed here, not only for the BCHS students, but also for the Garces Rams on the other side. They have a white out, we have a blue out.
Yes, we're almost like Penn State. Almost like Penn State. I know you probably appreciate that as a Nittany Lion fan. I don't know why you are, but you are.
Should I say we are?
No.
2nd and 12. Gamboni takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, gonna go deep, and interception. It was a great interception, but
looks like it's gonna be
Jurassic's pleading for a safety. The DB caught it in the field of play and then carried him into the end zone. Jurassic threw him down in the end zone.
Yeah, Gamboni tried to go to Jurassic, just way overthrew him. But it looks like it should have been a safety.
They're going to mark it down at the 5. Jurassic was trying to plead his case.
On the Ram 5-yard line, or they take over 1st and 10.
I don't know if there's new rules or something, but I was under the impression if you were tackled in the end zone, that's supposed to be a safety.
I'd say that forward progress was at the 5-yard line, and that his weight carried him into the end zone.
Yeah, we've already seen some spotty calls. There might have been a fumble at the end of the first quarter. Now this.
Either way, it gets rid of the Eagles' great field position as Garces hands it off once again up the middle.
And the Eagles look to have got it right back. And they do.
Jurassic with the ball.
He got it right back. He thought he almost had the safety, but instead he gets a fumble right at the goal line. And 7 is worth more than 2, so I'm sure the Eagles are happy now that call didn't go their way. But that's the 3rd turnover in this game. Very sloppy so far, and we're only 14 minutes into this game.
Fans are going crazy with those poppers right now.
Yeah, it's been over a quarter and there's been no scoring, so a reason to pop off the poppers or the confetti cannons, and those are just blowing. We have a bit of wind, even though the game was delayed due to heat. Don't know how that one works.
Yeah, it was 110 degrees around 5 o'clock today. As Gamboni throws, and it was hit Gutierrez in the chest. Should have been caught for a touchdown. Gutierrez visibly upset.
Already another drop killing the Eagles. They've had key drops. They've had three now huge drops that would have been huge gains or a touchdown. But instead they have second down, but still good field position and most likely 3 more chances to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, and it's not going to look good on Gamboni's stat line with those incompletions, but a lot of them have been those drop passes.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not really appreciating that, but if they're able to get something right back here, I'm sure he won't be that mad.
As he throws another interception, as
this game is incredibly sloppy so far.
Yeah, Gamboni 2 interceptions already. Early on, caught about at the 1-2 yard line. And it's going to be Garces' ball. And they're going to spot it at the 4.
Again, don't know about that spot.
Looks pretty close to the goal line. They carried him into the end zone.
It is the first game of the season, so we kind of expected it to be a little sloppy, but not this sloppy. Already 4 turnovers, 3 on the Eagles. And the Eagles have been just controlling this game. They're just handing it right back to Garces, but Garces unable to do anything with it.
Yeah, and Uras's strip inside the 5 turns out for nothing as Gamboni throws his second interception of the game. They're going to run the wildcat up the middle. Bell fighting, getting more yards, and he plows his way all the way up to the 13-yard line.
It's the first time we actually saw a decent game there from the Rams. The Eagles had been doing a good job of containing Bell and Smith. And those are the only 2 guys we've seen have the football for the Rams yet.
Yeah, a lot of runs up the middle. Urasek, Parcher, Steele, and Lynch on the defensive line for the Eagles.
Yeah, they're all seniors on that D line, got a lot of experience. They're showing that off right now.
Takes a snap, hands it up the middle, and gets a couple of yards. It's going to be up to the 16, and that's going to be enough for a Garces Rams first down.
First down of the game for the Rams, and it comes with 9 minutes and 14 seconds left in the second quarter. Or it's their second.
Yeah.
Well, it feels like their first. They haven't really been able to get anything going on offense so far.
That is true. 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Tied 0-0 in this Mission Bowl matchup. Eagles pressing in. Garces is 0 for 2 in the passing game. Takes a snap, hands it off, and Dallas, I think, or no, Smith gets, or Bowers gets the line of.
Someone got the run, someone got only a couple yards there. But really the first time they've differentiated between Bell and Smith.
4-yard gain, that's second down.
Bell under center once again. Takes a snap, hands it off to the fullback, and nothing really going there. Maybe a yard or 2. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 5, which is a 3rd and long with this run-heavy defense or offense.
Yeah, Rams most likely going to keep it on the ground here.
But on this 3rd down, Urasic comes out of the game.
Don't know what it is yet. Possibly a cramp. We know he's dealt with a lot of cramps in his career.
Almost wanted to go back on the field, but can't. And
Timeout called by the Eagles.
BCHS is going to call a timeout, so maybe that's a play to have Jarecki on the field for this third down.
Yeah, smart to be able to get Jarecki back on the field here for the Eagles. So they called the timeout, and now both the Eagles and the Rams only have one timeout left remaining in the half.
7:33 to go here in the second quarter. Tied 0-0. Kyle, what are your impressions so far?
My impression so far is this game is incredibly sloppy. 4 turnovers is terrible so far, especially in the early and halfway through the first half. It's not what you want to be seeing coming out in your first game. You really want to make it a good impression, strong impression here in your first game, and both teams have been unable to do that so far.
Garces is back on the field. They're going to mark it a third and about mid-range. Takes a snap. They're going to pitch it outside. Jarecki trailing and brings them down.
Yeah, smart to have Jarecki get back into the game because he was the one that made that tackle happen. You know, maybe if he's not in there, the Garces has another first down. But instead, they're going to bring out the punt team for the third consecutive time.
We'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, and this time we won't see Gutierrez back. They're going to have David Stevenson back to field the punt. Gutierrez has let every ball that's been kicked to him bounce. Hopefully this time they're hoping to get a return of sorts.
Well, it looks like with that short of a kick, well, it will take a nice roll
for Garces.
Rolls out of bounds.
And it goes out about the 42-yard line, so of BCHS territory. So that's where the Eagle offense is going to come back onto the field. Gamboni looking to improve after throwing 2 straight interceptions on 2 consecutive BCHS drives.
Yeah, the Eagles once again will have pretty decent field position, but just unable to really capitalize on it. Just leaving Garces in this game. This game should not be close right now. Eagles should have a commanding lead. Instead, this game's tied.
Noah Doss in, as well as Jarecki. Gamboni takes a snap, handoff to Stevenson, cuts up the middle and gets about 5 yards on the play.
Pretty decent run there by Stevenson. We've seen Stevenson and Raymond trade off at running back so far, both doing a nice job in the limited amount of runs they have had.
Second down.
Second and about 5 to go here for the Eagles. And look at this. Dominic Gamboni is going to take a snap under center.
Yeah, we're not going to see that too often in this game and for the rest of the season for the Eagles.
As he bobbles it under center, Stevenson gets it, and he goes up the middle, plows his way over to the 39-yard line. Big pickup as that run is up the middle for the Eagles.
Could have been disastrous with that bobbled snap because they usually don't go under center like you were saying, but it turned into a big gain there by Stevenson.
Yeah, that bobble could have helped a little bit, possibly maybe give the blockers a little bit more time to open the hole for Stevenson. I know at Stanford they run that pitch back to Bryce Love where it's kind of like a delay to let the blockers kind of gauge their holes a little bit bigger for Love to pass through.
I don't know if the bobble was necessarily intentional.
No.
But going under center so far has worked for the Eagles, as Stevenson has had about 2 gains of at least over 8 yards, it seems.
They went under center again, but there's a flag down, and it's going to be holding against the Eagles.
Turnovers and penalties have really killed the Eagles so far. They've been in control of this game, but they've had too many setbacks.
Thanks again to Mission Bank
in order to get the first score of the game.
We have a full halftime show planned for you. If you're a participant in the kicking contest, please make
it's going to back him up significant yardage.
Yeah, they just got 2 big runs there by Stevenson. And they're all for naught now.
They're going to go under center again. Gamboni takes a snap, throws to the right side, and incomplete, almost picked off.
Incomplete.
Yeah, risky pass there. It's the first time we've seen the Eagles go under center and throw the ball. And it almost was disastrous.
Yeah, Justin Eccleston in there with the deflection.
Felt like he might have been able to have a pick six. But that was not the case, as the Eagles will once again be at the 45-yard line.
2nd and 15, 5:31 to go. Tied 0-0 in this Mission Bowl matchup. Gamboni takes a snap. He's going to take a shot deep and throws it to nobody. Gutierrez cut inward. Gamboni threw it outside. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 15. Gamboni not having a great start so far.
He started off well, and then a couple of drops, a couple turnovers have really derailed his solid start. Now he hasn't been playing as well. This is kind of what we saw in a few games last season. Just not what the Eagles need to be a very successful football team. But there is still time in the season and in this game, and he's going to have another shot right here to move the chains.
And Gamboni's trying to prove himself. He's trying to get those offers. Only has one offer, which is a D3 offer to Whittier. And he's hoping to attract more interest this upcoming season. Gamboni takes the snap. Looking, rolls out left, gets pressured, and he's going to get brought down for a huge loss all the way back to the 38. A little jarring. Gamboni looked like he kicked his legs out a little bit.
Gamboni had plenty of time on that one, just not able to get it off. Wasn't able to find any open receivers. Now back. It's the first time it's going to be the first time we've actually seen the Eagles punt the ball. As odd as that may sound, with the score being 0-0 this late into the first half. Odd to see the punting team out there. Interesting note that Ben Jurasic is actually the team's punter this year.
What else can't he do? What a punt by Jurasic!
That's why he's out there. That's a great punt there by a guy who's going D1 as a tight end. But the special teams of the Eagles not able to do anything with that large punt. And the Rams will actually have decent field position for the first time, as there's another penalty.
Looked like a little scuffle.
There's already been a couple of scuffles so far in this game, and that's what happens when it's a rivalry game, especially between these two schools.
Yeah, tensions are high here at BCHS. Personal fouls against both teams. They're going to offset.
Ball right there, 40-yard line, 1st and 10.
We came in expecting more points, but so far with 4:25 to go, tied 0-0.
Well, we saw last Mission Bowl that the offense didn't really start to get going until the second half. But the Eagles especially were able to make more adjustments. They were able to get their offense clicking.
That's true. Darren Carr is a second-half type player.
And an interception!
David Stevenson with the interception. And just as we noted him being a key offensive player, we also said he was going to be that guy on defense.
Yeah, great read there by Stevenson. And those are the type of throws you're going to get when you have a wide receiver and running back at quarterback. Great job there by the Eagles to get the ball back. But once again, this game, incredibly sloppy. 5 turnovers in just this first half.
Yeah, and I know that's a huge boost for Stevenson. You know, all week he was dying to go out there and get an interception. Actually enjoys playing defense more than he enjoys playing offense, and I'm sure that felt good for him to get that interception.
You know, first one for the season for Stevenson and the Eagles as a whole.
Garces showing pressure as Gamboni able to hit it to the outside for Simrel for a gain of about 7.
It's felt like it's been a minute since the Eagles were able to complete a pass. And, you know, that's once again a huge confidence booster for Gamboni, who had been struggling as of late.
Yeah, hopefully Gamboni will turn things around here. So it's a 2nd and 3 now. Garces showing pressure as Gamboni takes a snap, throws it to the left side for Gutierrez. They're going to run a screen. He cuts it to the outside and gets a first down all the way up to the 30-yard line.
A big gain there by BCHS, but most likely going to be coming back. Like almost all of their big plays have. They had a big run there in the last possession, and now another one's coming back.
And it's going to be a holding against the offense, and that does bring it back. And just as they had that 2nd and 3, penalty brings it back. 3:33 to go here in the second quarter, tied 0-0. Mission Bowl game between the Bakersfield Christian Eagles and the Garces Rams. Second and 10 now for the Eagles after the holding penalty brings back the first down.
And another penalty.
Right on play.
I don't know what this one's on.
Sideline warning against Garces.
I believe that had to be against the Eagles.
The referee pointed in Garces' direction. But they came to the Eagles sideline, and it was the referee on the Eagles sideline that threw the flag. As the penalties have brought a halting stop of momentum to this game, starting to slow down greatly.
Yeah, penalties really suck the energy out of your offense, especially after you have a first down gain like the one the Eagles had to Gutierrez. Those are killers. That's what has been a part of what's allowed the Rams to stay in this game, despite them getting nothing going on offense.
As Gamboni is brought down, didn't even see the pressure coming, and that's going to be a huge sack all the way back to the 44-yard line, and it's going to be a 3rd and very long.
Seemed like that Rams defender just came in unblocked, but it was on Gamboni's side, so I don't know how he wasn't able to see him maybe try and step up, but instead it's a big sack there for the Rams.
3rd and 17, they're going to call it from the 44. Gamboni, the quarterback, takes a snap. Looking, they're going to drop a screen off to Stevenson, makes a one-handed catch, cuts it the other way, now moves upfield, tries to shed a tackle and cannot, gets about a yard or 2 on that play. It's a great catch and an effort, but it results in an Eagle 4th down. And the Eagles are going to punt here with 2 minutes to go.
That's a very electric 1-yard gain there, the one-handed catch. And then the long run, it looks like he only had one defender to get by, just unable to do it. And the punt team will come back on for the Eagles.
Jurasic to punt. His last punt was pretty impressive.
Yeah, we weren't really expecting that. He came out, actually had a great punt, but the Eagle special team is unable to get down there in time. Rams were able to get a pretty good return.
And the Eagles defense is playing phenomenal. It's just the offense hasn't gotten going. as Jurasic kicks this one. It's a high punt and goes way out of bounds. Not as impressive as the first punt.
Well, it had the distance, just shanked it to the left. Now, Rams are basically going to get it right back where the Eagles kicked it.
Yeah, not a great punt. They're in a spot at the 40. Only a punt of about 14.
But with the way Garces has been moving the ball, or the lack thereof, it's not that huge, that bad of a punt, because with 1:47 left in the second quarter, and the way the Rams have been moving the ball, they're probably not going to be able to get down there in time, especially with the one timeout.
Tied 0-0 with 1:47 to go. Garces takes the snap, rolls out to the left, and he gets hammered down behind the line of scrimmage. Jurasic in there with the sack.
Yeah, nothing there for Garces, and they are going to take their last time out of the half with 1:35 left. And they're going to really need something, a big gain here. So right now they've been unable to get anything going, even in the running game.
Yeah, they're trying to get something going offensively. Not very impressive, both sides. But the Eagles have been able to move the ball just a little bit, whereas Garces hasn't been able to move the ball at all. Only 2 first downs the entire game.
Yeah, the Eagles have at least been able to get it inside the red zone a couple times, but just unable to convert. And if you're not able to convert in the red zone, you are going to have some serious problems this year.
Yeah, the Eagles have had the ball in Garces' red zone multiple times, and they aren't able to execute. Gamboni's thrown a couple of interceptions, and they've been key plays.
Yeah. The name of the game so far has been turnovers and penalties, really, for the Eagles. But the defense has been doing a nice job here, being able to shut off all the lanes as they get another tackle.
Wrapped up in the backfield. Hit by Lynch and Foster.
Yeah. Jalen Smith was in there. Couldn't find anything, and another 2-yard loss as the clock rolls down, and got to think this is going to be a conservative run play for Garces.
Yeah, I don't really expect him to go long because they haven't gone long all game, and the one semi-decent long pass play they've ran was intercepted by Stevenson. So I think they might just try and run as much time off the clock and just try and send this one into half, tied at 0, which for the Rams is a huge win. They have not been able to move the ball at all, and yet this game is still tied.
Yeah, both defenses have been hanging as Garces gets that 1-yard run up the middle, and the Eagles are going to call their final timeout of the half with 44 seconds to go, trying to get something.
Good last time out there by the Eagles, but they're going to need to move the ball down the field quickly. And this time they're not going to have as great a field position as they've had in previous drives. So they're really going to need a big play, and they've already had a couple opportunities, but a couple drop passes and overthrows have resulted in no points.
Yeah, and the Eagles have a new kicker this year. New kicker, Julius Salinas, who is normally a great soccer player for the Eagles. Told me yesterday he hit from 57 yards at practice.
I feel like he's maybe has found his calling as a kicker. If he's able to hit from 57 yards out. I don't know why he's been playing soccer all this time. Should have been out there kicking. But he hasn't had any chances so far. So the Eagles unable to score.
Probably want to get it into at least that 20 zone if he's able to. Hopefully to get a field goal before the end of the first half to break this deadlock, as Jurasic almost able to block the punt.
That would have been huge for the Eagles.
As Eagles are going to field it. Gutierrez runs it outside. He has the sideline.
He's just got to beat the kicker, it looks like.
Jurasic with the block.
He's got blockers.
Stops, jukes the defender. One man to beat. Stiff arms and tripped up inside the 5-yard line. What a punt return by Chris Gutierrez.
What a great job by Gutierrez. It looked like he wasn't going to pick that one up. Lured the Garces defenders to sleep and just ran right by him.
Yeah, absolutely ran to about the 20-yard line, just stopped, let him go by, and then ran forward, stiff-armed the defender, and got tripped up at the end.
But like all good things BCHS has had in this game, it's another penalty.
Another flag, and it's going to be a legal block in the back, ending that. Wow.
Plays coming back, but it was sure fun to watch.
Not a great game at all. A lot of penalties.
There's been some exciting things. We've been able to see a couple hit sticks. Nice long run there.
Yeah, the Eagles are definitely playing faster and stronger. It's just they can't execute.
Yeah, they can't execute. When they have been able to get a big play, it comes back due to a penalty. And when they're also attacking, they either turn the ball over. Got 3 turnovers so far. But that one's really a killer. That's exactly what they needed to get it right down there with only 21 seconds left, and it comes all the way back.
Okay, first and 10 Eagles.
First and 10 from their own 21. Gamboni in shotgun formation, takes the snap. He's going to look to throw. He's going to step up, throws it to the far sideline for his brother, Bo Gamboni, but it's incomplete. There's a flag down behind the line of scrimmage.
What's new in this game night? Seeing a lot of yellow, seeing a lot of whistles. Most of them coming against BCHS. Garces has only had 2 penalties so far.
Yeah, it's not going great.
It's not a good night.
Not good. Penalties have definitely halted this game's momentum. It's going really slow.
The thing I'm most mad about with all these penalties is that this game started a little later at 8:30. So it's looking like we might be here till midnight like we were last year.
Yeah, last year's game didn't start till about 9:12 or something like that. We had the late start based on the heat and a 30-minute injury during the JV game. Absolutely pushed back that game, and we were here very late.
Yeah, with that end time and start time of the varsity game, it was my first broadcast. I was really considering whether or not I wanted to pursue this if I had to stay there till midnight. But luckily, most of all the other games last season were able to start on time, and that run will end the half with a score tied of 0-0. Very sloppy so far, but maybe in the second half, a few key adjustments can turn this game around for possibly both sides.
Yeah, and we saw that last year with the Eagles. Coach Darren Carr likes to make those second half adjustments. They normally come out of halftime firing and having a great first half. But that'll do it for this first half, tied 0-0. We'll be right back for the second half in about 20 minutes, right after this. are back. Second half coming up right now. Kyle, how are you feeling after this first half?
I'm not feeling too. I wouldn't be. Well, I'm all right, but I wouldn't be feeling too great if you're either of these teams right now. Both teams haven't been able to find anything really. Eagles more so. They've been able to move the ball up and down the field, just haven't been able to get any points as a result of it. Garces, no action going on so far. Only 2 first downs for them. But both defenses are playing well, at least. So at least there's that. But there's going to be a lot of key halftime adjustments.
Yeah, for sure. It's 0-0 in this first half. So many turnovers. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, 5 turnovers so far in this first half. 3 on the Eagles, 2 on Garces, and they've just been bad turnovers, easily avoided, just bad passes, overthrows, fumbles that shouldn't be fumbles. There should have even been some safeties, but, the fact that they've collectively turned the ball over 5 times and no one has scored out of that is not really impressive, but something to look at.
Yeah, especially with all these penalties just slowing down the game and stalling so much momentum, especially when the Eagles get a first down and then the next play they just get another penalty and then it's another sack. It just slows down the game, and that's why it is 0-0.
Yeah, it seems like whenever BCHS has a big play, it always comes back due to a penalty. And, they probably had that big play because of the penalty. It would make sense. But still, it's just crushers to the morale. Like, towards the end of the first half, Gutierrez had a great punt return that went all the way down to the 2-yard line. Unfortunately, it came all the way back, and the Eagles were unable to get anything, put the first score up on the board.
Yeah, so last year the Eagles were a second-half team, scoring a majority of their points in the second half. We're going to see what Coach Darren Carr in the game has set or prepared for this second half. About to get going. Players are starting to come. Eagles players are lining up right behind us, about ready to get back onto the field. Should be exciting. Hopefully be exciting.
No, I feel like both teams are going to make some adjustments. We're going to see some more points here. But I'm just really excited to see how these guys respond after facing some adversity.
Yeah, and we saw Garces starting to move with Jane Smith at the end of the half instead of Isaiah Bell. Hopefully maybe we'll see them do that more, trying to get the ball in their playmaker's hand.
Yeah, those two have really been the only ones that have had the ball, whether it's been at quarterback or running back or wide receiver. Those are the only ones getting the ball, and really they're the only ones doing anything. But that doing is resulting in 2-yard gains every time.
Yeah, not a single pass completed for the Garces Rams. Interception by David Stevenson, but other than that, nothing really going for their offense. Only 2 first downs the entire game. Should be getting exciting as we look towards the field. Eagles and Rams players on the sideline. Couple of people on about 2 minutes and 30 seconds before the start of the second half. And we've seen a lot of the student section just disappear, especially for Garces. About half their kids are gone, and for BCHS, about the same.
Well, it makes sense when you look that it's over 10 o'clock and neither team has put up a point, so it makes some sense. The best part of this game right now is that Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA is playing. Hopefully we don't get copyright strike for that, because I know how YouTube is with that.
Yeah, Kyle, you could go ahead and sing and try to drown out that sound.
I will not do that.
No? No spontaneous karaoke right now?
No, I'm gonna try not to. I feel like I'm trying to keep it at least somewhat professional here, and I feel like singing with my singing ability would be a disaster for this broadcasting department.
Well, unfortunately, we won't hear that, but we will hear the second half of football coming up right after this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we are back, about to get going for the second half of football. Eagles going to kick it away first as they received at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, first time we've seen kicker Julius Salinas out here. So the Eagles have been unable to put up any points and get that PAT conversion.
Yeah, this is going to be the first actual kickoff for Salinas. Actually kicked during the halftime of the Mission Bowl last year during the kickoff challenge.
How he was discovered. It's always those types of stories that get you.
Yeah,
Unexpected.
Kyle Guillory did it 2 years ago, and he became our kicker last year. As Salinas' kick is all the way back into the end zone and bobbled as it hits the line, and it's going to be a touchback.
I feel like that's what BCHS's strategy is when it comes to picking a kicker, and it seems with that kick they did a good job this year. I feel like next year with the people BCHS had out there in the field goal kicking competition, might be seeing Braden Amafar come out there. He drilled a 10-yarder, then almost made a 25-yarder. So we'll see. We'll have to wait till next year.
Yeah, definitely need that strong kicker. Hoping to bank in once again.
And especially in a game so tightly contested at 0. Field goal is key. Just get it into range. Just get some points up on the board.
Smith takes the snap and runs to the right, spins, and then gets a couple of yards. Ball is out.
Looks like Garces did end up recovering it, but it almost was our 6th turnover of the game. That would have been, that's not how you want to start off a half.
No, not another turnover. This game's been plagued by so many. Gala and the gang trying to figure something out offensively.
Yeah, but when you have to change your offense a week into practices, that's tough. You know, they were going to run the spread offense with Joseph Campbell, but with him out, they've had to change it up a little bit. And I'm surprised we haven't seen as much triple option as we did when Gola was at BHS.
Smith takes a snap. He's going to look to throw. He's going to throw one deep, way short, and intercepted!
What was almost one turnover turned into another one as there's, once again, off a big play, a penalty.
Holding on the offense. That penalty.
Never mind. We finally got one. You know, with how the way the game had been going, I just had a feeling that was going to be against BCHS. We're going to get no excitement, but instead we have the 3rd turnover on Garces, and BCHS will look to get some momentum going here in the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, Ronnie Simrel with the interception, and already a great start here in the second half for the Eagles.
Eagles had a great start the last time. They were moving the ball pretty well, but then a fumble derailed that. They were able to get another big drive, but since then, you know, it's been kind of spotty from the Eagles offense.
They're going to take over on the Garces Rams 40-yard line. Gamboni, the quarterback, and already penalty flags are out.
Saw that one coming.
Timeout call by the Rams.
Oh, they're going to call a timeout for Garces before the penalty flags.
Another early timeout there call there by Gola. I'm guessing the Rams didn't have enough people out there on the field.
Or had too many.
That would have to be my guess there. But able to get the timeout in time.
For sure. So with 11:02 to go, tied 0-0 here in the 3rd quarter. A lot looking forward to. A lot of positives so far in the second half.
A lot of positives, yes, in this minute. A lot of positive for the Eagles. Almost caused a fumble, and then in the next play they get an interception. Yes. But now let's see what they can do on offense.
The Eagles offense trots back onto the field. Gamboni, the quarterback, back there with the running back David Stevenson, who had an interception on the defensive side of the ball earlier in the game. Gamboni takes a snap, handoff to Stevenson. Stevenson runs outside, trying to get the head, cuts upfield, breaks a tackle, breaks another one, has a block and goes up inside the 20-yard line.
What an insane run there by Stevenson. A couple of jukes, able to evade the defenders, and a couple of hit sticks as well. Leads to a big run there and a huge start here for the Eagles in the second half. And like we were saying at halftime, the Eagles were a second half team from last year, and so far it's looking the same.
Yeah, Stevenson gets the ball all the way up to the 18-yard line, and surprisingly, no penalties on that play.
Would you look at that, Knight? It's truly wonderful how wonderful how football is played when there are no penalties. It's all clean. It's truly way more exciting.
Garces' line showing pressure, a little Yancey, as Gamboni takes a snap, handoff to Stevenson up the middle, and he's hit immediately. And he gets brought down at the line of gain. Bring up 2nd and 10.
Looks like Powers got to him first.
Eagles were trying to catch lightning in a bottle twice. This time the Rams were ready for it. Swallowed it up before it even got started.
And I think that goes to Gamboni's pre-snap mentality. You saw them showing pressure and decided to go with the run.
Yeah, I thought maybe he could have got it past him like they did the last time. But a different look there from the Rams, kind of confused them. Swallowed it up, but this time it looks like it's going to be a touchdown, and we finally have our first score of the game.
David Stevenson with an 18-yard touchdown run, and that puts the Eagles on the board for the first time here in 2019.
It's finally happened. Stevenson, after the first big run, has had an interception tonight, having himself a night in his first game as an Eagle.
Yeah, the transfer from Centennial's having a game, and the poppers are flying here at BCHS.
Whatever the adjustments made there by the Eagles, they certainly worked out.
Yeah, they're going more run heavy, and it's looking good. 3 runs, and we have a touchdown as the PAT is good from Julius Salinas, and as it is good, there's a flag down on the field. But I think the PAT is going to stand. It's going to be an after-play penalty.
Already had a couple penalties like that after the play. Nothing's going on, with the rivalry that this game is. We're going to see that a lot. But in most of these games, it's whoever has the cooler head usually prevails.
And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on BCHS and Garces, so the penalties will even out. They're offsetting, and the Eagles lead 7-0 here with 9:40 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they started off just running the ball. They weren't getting a lot of success throwing it. Go straight to the run game, and it works out, especially when you have a guy with the speed that Stevenson has. Should certainly look to run the ball more.
Yeah, it really shot up the gut straight through the middle on that 18-yard touchdown. A lot of exciting stuff going on here in the second half. Interception and a touchdown for the Eagles.
Yeah, in only 2 minutes and 20 seconds, we've already had more going on than we did in the entire first half. So I'm very excited to see where the rest of this half leads us.
Okay, we're after the kickoff.
Salinas is going to kick off. He has the kickoff on the right hash. Trying to get the ball over there.
Fell that deep for the Rams.
Last time he was out here, there was a touchback. Going to try and replicate it here.
Okay, here we go.
Salinas to kick. And a booming kickoff. Fielded at the goal line.
We'll be able to return it.
As Bell breaks a tackle, breaks another one, goes down the sideline and gets kicked out of bounds. Whistles blaring. But a long return of 36 yards for Isaiah Bell.
Yeah, that's special teams might be the place where the Rams are going to have to get their points, because right now, even though the defense has created turnovers, they haven't been able to get anything there, and the offense has just been stagnant the entire time. So they're going to need a good punt return or kickoff return, maybe spark some momentum for the Rams.
Just a bit.
Looks like a penalty is going to back it up.
Ball is set, Rams 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
And the field trip position is going to go back to the 25-yard line.
Every yard that the Rams have is crucial with the way they've been moving the ball. So that could end up being a huge penalty.
Smith, the quarterback, takes a snap, direct snap, and he's brought down by Lynch behind the line of scrimmage. Foster in there as well with the pressure.
Yeah, Garces has tried out a couple different strategies running the ball, trying to go outside on that one, just nothing there. Great job, the Eagles, to contain him.
Loss of one on the carry. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11 here with 9 minutes to go. Eagles lead 7-0 in the third quarter. Mission Bowl matchup here on the campus of Bakersfield Christian. Eagles looking for their 3rd straight Mission Bowl victory in the 4th year of existence.
Be a commanding lead in the series.
Bell back at quarterback.
And miscommunication.
And Garces falls on it.
They almost had their 4th turnover and 2nd of the half. Only 4 minutes in.
Ball is recovered by Smith.
Smith was the one that recovered it.
Bring up 3rd and long for the Rams.
The Rams seem to be desperately needing their previous 2-year varsity signal caller, Joseph Campbell, in the game. But he's out due to valley fever, so they're going to have to stick with the combo of Smith and Bell.
Smith, the quarterback, Bell behind him in the halfback position. And they're going to pitch it back there, and now he's going to throw it. Throws it deep, and it's intercepted!
And he's got plenty of room.
Simrall down the sideline, cuts inside, and gets brought down. There's a penalty behind at the goal line. Multiple penalties, and
once again, things getting chippy outside of where the action is going on. I believe every time Garces has tried to throw the football, except for one early in the first quarter, it's resulted in an interception.
Yeah, they do not have a completion on offense.
Yeah, with them having to run out running backs and wide receivers at their quarterback, you know, you're not going to get a lot of accuracy, and it's showing so far.
Yeah, they ran that pitch and then throw. Eagles able to pick it off.
Yeah, threw it blindly into double coverage. Rams thought they might be able to trick the Eagles defense. Eagles all over it.
Referees discussing this penalty right now. Penalties have really slowed down this game.
We had been going so well in the second half.
Already this long penalty.
Well, a lot of these long penalties are resulting because it's on both sides. Referees trying to figure out who instigated it, what happened. That's causing the delay of the game.
About to go on 2 hours of game time so far, and we're only in the third quarter. referees are going to say unsportsmanlike conduct on Garces and BCHS. And then another one on BCHS.
Got several dead ball fouls on unsportsmanlike conduct.
With those, that was our third unsportsmanlike conduct calls. You know, you maybe wouldn't typically expect that out of two private schools, but both of these teams are very competitive, and with the score being so close, things are bound to get chippy.
Bringing back the ball. And wow, the ball's going to go all the way back to the 37-yard line.
That's a killer with the way the Eagles have been unable to really capitalize. They were able to capitalize on their first possession of the second half, but in the first half, nothing going on. But we're most likely going to see Stevenson run the ball. So he had found success that last possession.
Eagles going to start out of the gun.
Ball, 1st and 10.
Tyler Carr, the wide receiver on the near side. Gutierrez in the slot. Jurasek, the tight end, on the right side, and Cimarron on the far side. Eagles student section filled now after halftime. And
yeah, they finally saw there's points on the board, and they flocked back to the nest.
Ball on the right, 37 yards.
That was unintentional.
And here we go. Gamboni takes a snap, handoff to Stevenson. Stevenson makes a cut upfield, breaks a tackle and goes in and gets all the way up to about the 18. Said ball was on the ground.
Stevenson on the run. With the fumble, Garces
It
recovers.
was almost disastrous at the beginning. Was able to break it loose.
And then fumbles the ball. And Garces recovers it all the way to the 15. Yet another turnover in this game of turnovers and penalties.
You know, it's kind of expected that there would be a couple since it is the first game. You know, some of these guys haven't played with each other, especially with BCHS. We got a couple of transfers, including Stevenson, but we did not expect it would be to the magnitude of 8 total turnovers by both teams. And almost another turnover there.
As Smith fakes giving it to the jet sweep fly. Goes up and gets about a yard or two to the 20, or excuse me, the 17. Make it 2nd and 8 here with 7 minutes to go. Eagles lead 7-0 here in the third quarter in this Mission Bowl matchup.
2nd and 8.
A late game today starting at 8:30. Current time of 10:28.
Doesn't feel like 10:28.
No, it doesn't. As Smith throws, and finally a completed pass for Garces as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage of original gain. But that's their first pass completed of the game.
They finally got it, but it resulted in absolutely nothing, so
there's pros and cons there.
it'll look better in the stat sheet that there's at least one.
Loss on the play, 3rd down.
It's almost like the Cheez-It Bowl of this year, with TCU winning with a total of 24 passing yards.
Sometimes those 24 passing yards is all it takes. And in Garces' case, they're probably going to need more than 0.
As a fumble, breaks a tackle, and then gets hammered by a couple more Eagles players.
Was able to shed a couple of defenders, but unable to
make anything of it.
First hit by Foster, then Steele.
And an Eagle player is down. It's the first injury we've had all game.
Officials timeout.
Try to see who that injured player is as the trainers attend to them on the field. So Kyle, 7-0, 5:24 to go here in the third quarter. What's looking good this second half?
Well, what's looking good with the running game for BCHS, but that fumble made me rethink that. But so far, the Eagles' defense has just been stellar, really containing the run game of the Rams. The Rams have been able to get nothing to go. Only one completed pass now. Eagles' defense doing a stellar job so far.
That they have already a greater second half, but
well, it was a low bar, so
it was a low bar. As they attend to an injured player on the field.
Platinum and Titanium Eagles Club members and sponsors.
The Hall ambulance is creeping up.
Mission Bank, Raymond's Trophies and Awards, Herbs, Industrial Design and Construction, Fawn Cattle, Private.
We're going to take a break after the injured timeout. We'll be right back once we find out who this is and what is happening right after this.
Cal Organic.
And we are back. No injury update right now, but the Bakersfield Christian Eagle player is down on the field. He's been down for about 5 minutes or so as they're attending to him. It's not looking good. The teammates are around.
Been a long stoppage so far, really giving both teams practically a second halftime. But we do hope the injured player is okay. It's looking like it is possibly Randy Raymond, the defensive back for the Eagles.
We have no confirmation on that. Gamboni is warming up on the sideline for the Eagles, but continue to pray for this individual that is hurt.
All right now, both teams should be kind of stretching out again, do some running, get their legs back under them, because this has been a long stoppage. Be smart of them to start get some movement going, not be so stiff when they come back out onto the field.
.5:24 to go here in the third quarter. Eagles lead 7-0 in this Mission Bowl matchup. We'll continue to wait and inform you on this injury situation as we know. We'll be right back after this. And we are back. Another injury update They just carted him off the field into a hall ambulance. Ambulance has not left yet, but hate to see it here in this Mission Bowl matchup. It's already a late game as it is in this 15-minute delay so far.
Yeah, and we're going to have to wait a little bit longer because there's only one hall ambulance right now out on the field, so another one's coming right now. We can hear it, so we got to wait for that to get here, and then play can resume. But right now, both sides getting loose once again. They've had a time to really have a second halftime. And with both teams not playing too great, certainly can help. And we can see the ambulance turning in here, so we should be continuing play rather shortly here. But the score, 7-0 BCHS in the lead with 5:24 left in this third quarter. The Eagles' touchdown comes off a run by David Stevenson early in the third quarter. But prior to that, and for most of the game, it's been turnover heavy. Already 8 turnovers combined for both sides. Split half and half at 4 each.
Just an unfortunate circumstance. Hate to see it. 2 years in a row.
But if it's anything like last year, he'll pick himself back up, get out there the next week. That's what he had, a dislocated shoulder or elbow, I believe, last season. Except for that, and the next week he was out there playing again. But we don't know what the injury status is, so that might not be the case.
As we wait for the ambulance, it's coming in through the back side now, behind the visitors' booth. But both teams are on the field stretching, trying to keep loose, as this delay is taking longer than expected.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how both teams come out after this delay. It is going to be fourth down. Garces has fourth down. They're going to be forced to punt here in their own end zone. But it should be interesting to see how both these teams play after the long delay. See if there's any stiffness, any fatigue, because you got to look at it. It is 10:46. It's kind of getting late here. See if the players' body clocks kind of start to shut down.
And 2 years in a row, a long injury has extended this game. And we're only 5 minutes and 24 minutes left in the third quarter. We got a whole long game ahead of us.
We do have, there's a lot of time left in this game, especially with it only being 7-0. So plenty of time for someone to score, tie this game up, or extend the lead.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching this and waiting, you can probably go back and watch our game day broadcast today that we did at lunch. Lots of fun. Kyle, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so every lunch on the day of game day, me, Knight, Mr. Chai, and another teacher or person of the staff at BCHS, or even sometimes we've had some football players, we will pick the games, pick the scores, the winners of the best football games, college and NFL, and the high school game, or the BCHS game every week. It's a lot of fun. It's similar to how ESPN does it, their college game day. And it's a lot of fun. We don't have the Eagles head to use, but it's besides the headgear selection, very similar.
Yep. Even have Old Crimson.
Yeah. We didn't get to talk a lot about the NFL, so I guess we can do that now as we wait. Got the fire department here now. So I said I had the Los Angeles Rams making it back to the Super Bowl, but they're going to be facing the Kansas City Chiefs this time. I'm pretty high on the Chiefs, mainly just because I'm a big fan of Mahomes. I think he's a great player, and with him going into the third season, I feel like he's only going to continue to improve, and if he's able to improve upon a 5,000-yard and over 50 touchdown season, I mean, it's going to be deadly. Also, as long as D Ford doesn't go off sides again, I mean, they should be good.
I think drafting Mecole Hardman's going to be a great pickup for them. You already have Tyreek Hill.
And it was smart to pick him up because we didn't know if Tyreek was going to be able to play with the...
Yeah.
So,
I know having two speedsters like Miko Hardman and like that. So
yeah, so that's who I have. I want to pick Mahomes to win the MVP again, but it doesn't really happen that often. We see a repeat MVP, so I got to go with my man Aaron Rodgers. As always.
Oh my God!
I feel like the Packers are going to be way better this year because we finally have a coach who isn't running the same plays they have been for the past 8 years. So I feel like that's really going to help out Rodgers' game. So
come on.
I feel good about Rodgers. As long as he doesn't get hurt, which with the way it's been going, high likelihood that that's going to happen.
I doubt.
But I see that happening. I also see Drew Brees getting his. I could also see that happening. I'm high on the Saints as well. I feel like they've had a couple bad mishaps happen to them the past 2 years. The Minnesota Miracle and then last year with the no call on the pass interference. So I'm also high on the Saints. I feel like those 4 teams, Saints, like I said in the game day broadcast, I feel like those 4 teams are still at the top of the league. Everyone else looking to get in.
Yeah, speaking of the Saints and that missed pass interference call, you talk about that. In the preseason, we've seen that implement of like challenging the pass interference. What do you think of that rule?
What rule? I don't pay a lot of attention to the rules with the NFL. I just wait for the games. So I'm sure it's going to be confusing like all the rules is. We still don't know what a catch is. So.
That other ambulance is taking Isaiah Bell.
Oh, so there's 2
concussion. They think that was a good with he's dealing with concussion. But that's why the other ambulances are coming. So Isaiah Bell, that's the backup quarterback. Yes. So they were reporting that ambulance is taking Isaiah Bell.
Okay, so then is ours injured?
So yeah, getting back to the NFL as we keep getting injury updates. Actually, Knight, I believe, has an injury update for you. Why we have this have such a long delay right now. So Knight, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so there's apparently 2 injuries on the play that we're talking about. The first one is confirmed. It is going to be Randy Raymond, and he is in that ambulance. And then we saw the more ambulances come, and the ones that's coming is another injury, and it's Isaiah Bell, who was Garces' backup quarterback.
Yeah, Bell's been one of the only ones doing, besides Jalen Smith, he's been one of the only ones doing anything productive on offense. So that's a huge loss for the Rams.
Yeah, Bell, they're going to say, is dealing with a concussion, but that's what's taking so long for this delay is because you got
to get 2 ambulances here and then a replacement ambulance.
Ambulance.
So that's causing this long delay.
It's just an unfortunate circumstance to happen, and it's a tough break for Garces, especially with Isaiah Bell, who's their best player on their team.
Yeah, it's a huge loss. But we'll see with how both teams will be able to rally around one of their players getting hurt. So that's what we have for you in that department.
It's taking a while. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Just, lift up prayers for these individuals, and we hope to get going soon. Thank you guys for the patience.
Yeah, injuries suck, especially both of these guys in their senior seasons. It's not how you want to start it off, and depending on the severity of the injury, they could miss the entirety of their senior season, which would just be a huge blow, but we hope that's not the case.
As Eagles are continuing to stretch, trying to keep loose as this delay is going on. It's been going on for over 20 minutes, and it's already making a late game later.
Well, we're going to be here for a while anyway, so might as well prolong it. We're seeing a couple people exiting, decided that their night's been a little too long with this injury delay. They would have to stick it out for a couple, maybe an hour more, I'd say, hopefully.
Yeah. I was actually talking to Coach Carr earlier this day, I mean, like, obviously we have the injury delays right now, but we originally had the heat delay, and he was telling me about when he was at BHS, they had a lightning delay, and no one could play football because of the lightning delay. And they just went the next day and decided to play at 10 a.m. instead, like on a Saturday, instead of like a late 9 o'clock game, you know?
Yeah, that might have been maybe smart. Well, we didn't know that this injury was going to occur, so really wasn't
of
like...
course not.
Yeah,
like,
wasn't like they were able to push it back to 8:30. It'd still be reasonable to get out of here. The game would end. But with this, it just makes it longer. But I don't see them calling this game. There's no lightning strike. Also, that's odd that here in Bakersfield that there was a lightning strike preventing games to be played.
It's true.
It doesn't happen too often.
Not a lot of weather in Bakersfield.
Not a lot. It's just a lot of heat, a lot of bad air quality, an occasional, very, very, very occasional rain. Doesn't happen too often. Don't see a lot of... It's been no snow in how many years now?
Coach Carr was a senior in high school the last time there was snow.
That should tell you how long it's been since there's been snow. And it seems there's no end in sight to that streak. Right now there seems to be no end in sight for this injury delay.
But speaking of snow in Bakersfield, I've brought snow to Bakersfield.
Yes, you have brought snow to Bakersfield. I remember last year in our broadcasting class, you brought snow up from Fraser. We were able to have a snowball fight. That was fun. I liked hitting you with a snowball.
Yeah, bringing a little joy to Bakersfield.
Mm-hmm. We don't get to experience too often. And hopefully the same is true this year. I'm going to bring some back.
Yeah, I like to say that I've brought the most snow to Bakersfield in 18 years.
I feel like you probably have. Unless someone else is doing this at another school that we're unaware of, let us know. But I highly doubt that that's the case.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to bring snow to Bakersfield, then we can have like a large snowball fight.
Just transport all the snow to...
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Like, if I could get a bunch of snow and we could have like a school-wide snowball fight,
that would be a bunch of... That'd
be a lot of fun.
You would have to make it snow. You can't just... But look at this. We're finally getting back underway here with Garces facing a 4th down. Gonna have to punt here.
After the long delay.
Okay, try to reset things here. Garces has 4th down. 3 yards back deep for the Eagles.
As timeout by the Eagles. So
yeah, it looks like there's some confusion there, which I don't know how that happens, especially after that long of a break. Yes, maybe the Eagles players just decided to turn their minds off, and they had too many men on the field there, which causes Coach Carr to use a timeout here in this 3rd quarter. With the game this close at 7-0, those timeouts are going to be crucial late in the game.
Yeah, I just don't think they were ready. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere.
It did kind of come out of nowhere. They were still stretching. They're still kind of getting loose again. And then we just hear the whistle go. Garces kind of tried to go quickly there to catch the Eagles off guard. And off guard, they caught them indeed.
As Gutierrez trots back deep to return the punt. It's weird not seeing Alex Wallace there, as he's been there for the last 3 years.
Yeah, AWOL had done a great job there. And we will have another delay.
Another penalty.
It's only right, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah.
Long delay, timeout, penalty. What do you think we're going to have next night? Do we think we get the punt off here?
A fumble.
A fumble. All right, let's see if Knight's prediction comes true. Currently, his prediction for the score of this game, not looking too good.
Yeah, no, it's not looking too good.
I feel like all of us were pretty high on the score of this game. Oh! Would you look at that?
A bobble kick and gets the punt away. And a flag is down, but
I think Leafy
On the play.
kicked that over the line of scrimmage, I believe, so that should be a penalty against them. I don't know. I think that might be the case there. I'm surprised he didn't just try to kick it.
he ran with it for a little bit. But yeah, no, it definitely looked like he kicked it past the line of gain.
Yeah, I was very surprised he tried to punt it. He looked like he had actually got past a decent amount of Eagles coming for that block. Knight. Oh, very close. Very close.
I was so close to getting that prediction right.
That was a good call. That was a good call.
Only seemed fitting.
Like ball was kicked beyond the line of scrimmage. The penalty was declined. The Eagles take over, 1st and 10.
All right, so the Eagles are going to decline the penalty, and they're going to start at the 38-yard line, their offense.
And they got great field position once again. Let's see what they can do with it this time. No, the first possession of this third quarter, it feels like so long ago, but they were able to get their first score off that. And again, some line talking it over. We got 2 tight ends in the game right now. We were told that we'd see a little bit of that.
As David Stevenson's behind, as Gamboni is the quarterback under center. Stevenson gets the handoff and goes nowhere, brought down at the line of gain. Bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, BCHS trying to keep it on the ground again. They found success with that, so they were able to score off a rushing touchdown. That time, they weren't really able to get anything out of it.
2nd down.
Yeah. Seen that a couple of times. The Eagles going under center, which we never saw last year.
Yeah, we almost never saw that, and it wouldn't make sense for them to do it last season with Jake Moran and him being able to be mobile and also throw the deep ball.
Yeah,
but with a different quarterback means a bit of a different system.
They're going to go under center again, but looked like Noah Doss popped off first, and it is going to be a false start against the Eagles. It's going to back them up.
I feel like right now with that long delay, each team's trying to find their footing again. They're making mistakes that they usually don't make. It's causing an even more sloppy game.
It's going to back it up to the 43-yard line, and 2nd and 15 with 4:22 to go here in the third quarter. Gamboni's going to go under center once again. Takes a snap, steps back, throws deep towards Henderson. Henderson dives! Incomplete.
We hadn't seen a lot of Henderson in this game so far. In one of his first plays there, they go right at him. Almost able to come down with a big completion, but instead it'll be a 3rd and long.
Yeah, Henderson's notably known for being a basketball player with those electrifying dunks.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised that he chose to play football this year. I was hoping, I play basketball. I was hoping he would just stick with basketball the entire time. But
with his height and jumping ability, he could be a special football player.
That is true. He's kind of got the build to be a good receiver.
As Gamboni throws an interception, Garces is going to return it down the sideline. He's got room, and he gets hit hard.
Well, Garces may have come away with the interception. The Eagles stop it with a exclamation point on the pancake there.
Yeah, Carter Lynch, what a hit.
Yeah. But that's what the Rams needed. They hadn't been able to get anything going on offense, maybe hoping their defense could start something up. And that interception might prove to be the thing that gets them their first score of the game.
And this is not how Gamboni wanted this game to go. He's fighting for those scholarship offers, and who knows, maybe he'll be fighting for the starting job this season again.
Yeah, right now he definitely isn't having the game he wanted. But there is still time to improve and develop. So it's really just a matter of time. We'll see how he adjusts.
As Smith takes the direct snap, gets about a gain of 5.
Smith up the middle.
You're going to see a lot of Smith right now with Isaiah Bell out due to an injury. It's part of the reason we had that long delay. So we're going to see a lot of just direct snaps to Smith, just him trying to mainly just run it up the gut. But we've seen him try and go outside. The Eagles have been all over it.
Second and 5 for the Garces Rams at the 48. Smith takes a snap up the middle again, but he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Cole Wattenberger in there with the play.
Yes, Cole at Montana State.
I meant Jess. Yeah.
It's a long. It's been a long night for the football player, a long night for the broadcasters. As it's.
Well, I mean, same number.
Same number. The brothers
both played the same position, same last name. You know. Seen Cole make that play a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Just force of habit, eh?
Hey.
Third and 6.
Now Garces here is trying to get their third first down of the game here.
And delay of game by Garces. That's going to make this third down a longer third down, as if 6 yards was already long for their run-only, basically, offense.
Yeah, that makes it so much harder now for the Rams to get a first down. Because we've seen when they've tried to air it out, get a few extra yards, just been picked off or incomplete. So this is trouble now for the Rams, who are looking like they maybe could get some momentum on offense.
Third and long for the Garces Rams. Takes a snap, and they're going to punt it on third down. It's going to bounce.
It's actually a pretty good punt there.
It's a great punt as it bounces inside the 5 to the 3. Wow.
I believe that might have been what they were trying to go for with the delay of game. Make it a more manageable punt. And it turns out to be a fantastic punt, about, I want to say, 50 yards there. Yeah, it took a great roll.
Great drop kick by the quarterback, Smith.
You don't see a lot of third down punts, do you, Knight?
No, you don't. And I think they just had to with their offense. They know they can't throw the ball.
Yeah, might not try and turn the ball over again. They've already got 4 in this game so far, so. Playing it safe here, trying to change the field position here.
Their own 3-yard line, first and 10.
Because BCHS has had control, has had better positioning all game.
As Stevenson's going to get the carry, trying to get out of the end zone, cuts upfield, loses his balance, but gets close to the first down marker.
Yeah, great run there by Stevenson to get the Eagles out of trouble.
Tackled by Martinez.
And it will move the chains.
On the play, and that's an Eagle first down.
Yeah, great run by Stevenson in the end zone. Gets the ball, goes around the edge, and then cuts it upfield and gets the first down. Eagles lead 7-0 with 1:50 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Stevenson after that run, though, is limping, it appears. And Jess Wanbarger is going to come into the game, as I just received a snap notification from Cole Wanbarger. So, would you look at that?
Gamboni takes snap, handoff, and up the middle.
Wanbarger right up the gut again.
And speaking of Wanbarger, gets the 12-yard carry.
Yeah, Wanbarger got pulled up mid-season last year for the Eagles and only got a couple touches at running back, but in this first game here of the 2019 season, gets a very, very good run there to keep the chains moving.
Yeah, third-string running back with Randy Raymond injured and David Stevenson just coming off limping.
You know, he maybe didn't expect that he would have to be playing running back, but so far, doing a good job.
Yeah, 2 great runs in a row, and another Eagles first down.
Again, picks up 13, Eagle first down.
So far, just been able to find the holes.
And
He's doing a great job so far.
Eagles offense is moving right now. This drive that started at their own 3-yard line. Trying to kill the clock as it's down to 45 seconds here in the third quarter. They lead 7-0.
Yeah, Smart just here to kill the clock, take it into the third quarter, or into the fourth quarter, I mean, especially with the way this game has been going, with it only being 7-0 and Garces being unable to move the ball. Just limit their possessions as Wanbarger will get it again, and another first down. 3 carries, 3 first downs here by Wanbarger. Having himself a nice night here so far.
Averaging about 12 yards per carry so far.
That's pretty good. Last year he averaged -0.2 yards. Really changing the script here this season.
Definitely improving himself.
I know this offseason he really worked to get himself bigger and stronger and faster, and seems to be paying off here as the Eagles will take it into the fourth quarter with a 7-0 lead.
Eagles still on top.
We'll be right back for the fourth quarter of action. Eagles lead 7-0. We'll be right back after this. And we are back for this fourth quarter. Gamboni takes the snap. Handoff. Wattenbarger again as he plows his way past the 30-yard line. What a carry.
Just Wattenbarger really doing a great job so far. He came in for the injured Stevenson. He's got 4 first down on 4 carries. Got to give a little credit to the offensive line creating those holes, and he's just been able to find them.
Moves it all the way to the 28-yard line. Wanbarger stays in the game. Takes a snap, another handoff to Wanbarger, cuts it again, spins, and it's the first carry he's had where it doesn't result in a first down.
Even though it didn't result in a first down, he still moved it. Got a 5-yard gain there. Since he's come in, it seems like Garces has had no answer to stopping him. Really getting whatever they want here.
Gain of 6. 2nd and 4 coming up.
I feel like you got to stick with the ground game. It's still working for you, even though you didn't get a first down there. Still getting plus yards, but instead they'll throw it out.
And low throw.
Pass incomplete.
Intended for Gutierrez, and that stops the clock. I think with a screen it'd be a high percentage of a pass caught.
Yeah, those ones they typically get caught. The only problem with it is a lot of times it doesn't result in a big gain. But the Eagles there, after running the ball, finding every open hole, decided to throw it, maybe try and catch Garces off guard. They might have been able to had it not been incomplete.
3rd and 4 coming up from the Garces 22. And you think this might be a 2-down situation, but no need for that as well with the hit stick inside the 5.
You can only hope to contain them. as they almost get into as Weinberger almost gets into the end zone, including a big hit stick.
First down.
Momentum, he's just plowing his way. And they're going to send Gamboni out after talking to him. Not a lot of throwing on this run.
No,
drive.
and there's no reason to throw. You're getting you're averaging over 10 yards per carry, so why wouldn't you just keep it on the ground?
And
yeah, they're going to call timeout here. It looked like there's some confusion on the sideline, getting up to the line. Makes sense here because you especially want to get the score here, make it 14-0. Because with the way Garces has been playing on offense, I don't really see them getting 2 scores here with 10 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
yeah, for sure. And, you know, they had the confusion, plus they were talking about this for a while in the huddle. I mean, it seemed like they had to call that timeout.
Yeah.
Especially with the ball on the 2-yard line. They can't take that delay of game.
Yeah.
Nobody said tripping, and Southeast Dago in the building.
Shout out to the cheerleaders right now, doing their dance.
This year, don't have 26, but I believe 20 cheerleaders out there. So still a decent amount of cheerleaders this season. Rooting on these Eagles as they are 2 yards away from the second score of the game.
I think there's 24.
24. I was 4 off.
Yes, you were.
I must have missed a couple.
It's a lot of cheerleaders.
So it is a lot of cheerleaders.
They're going to run the pro set. Handoff. Wattenberger.
Up the middle.
And
Looks like he's going to get in.
he's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
Since Wattenberger's coming to the game, he's just taken over, finding every open hole, taking advantage of it as he has his first touchdown of his season and his varsity career.
And Gamboni's coming back on the field.
I think the thinking here from the Eagles, if you get it to 15, it really just puts this game away. And 13, you know, not really banking on them being able to gain that many.
On for the conversion.
And especially with how you've been running the ball, Garces hasn't been able to stop it. Might as well just stay out on the field.
Motion set. They hand off. Wattenberger in for the 2-point conversion. And man, what a drive rushing it is.
Yeah. A little confusion on the part of the Rams. And the Eagles take a 15-0 lead, which at this point in the game seems like insurmountable from the Rams.
Yeah, especially with Isaiah Bell injured.
Going to really have to heavily rely on Jalen Smith. But even him, he hasn't been able to. He's had a lot of touches, but not a lot of yards to show for it.
$15-0 Eagles lead. 9:55 to go here in the fourth quarter. And the Eagles are 9 minutes and 55 seconds away from their third straight Mission Bowl victory.
Yeah, that injury timeout seems to have paid off, I guess, for the Eagles. You know, it sounds bad because 2 people were injured, but since then, Eagles really have come out firing here on offense. And the defense, with the way it's been playing, just shutting down every possible thing Garces has tried to do this year. Or this season, or this game. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Kyle, what are you talking about?
I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, it is
11:18 at night.
Give me a break.
It's a late football game in general.
I feel like we Need to move the games to 9 o'clock in the morning like the Pac-12 almost did. Decided against that. That would have been terrible for ratings. Think about it. Like at UCLA, all the people in Los Angeles, you think they're getting up to go to a 9 o'clock game for a team that's mediocre?
They don't even go to games.
Exactly.
It's 4:30.
Exactly. There's no reason to put it at 9. I don't even know why that was a consideration.
Sorry, Mr. Chai, but UCLA's kind of fallen off.
Kinda.
They've definitely
That's generous.
fallen off.
Yes, there you go.
Cincinnati next Thursday. Come on, Bearcats.
Cincinnati's not bad. They're really well. They have to play Ohio. They play Ohio State in their second week, correct?
Their second game.
That's probably going to be a loss. But besides that, it's really only
Cincinnati
UCF.
could win 12 games, and their only loss be Ohio State.
Yeah, because they really in their conference really only have to beat UCF, and UCF has
Brandon Wimbush,
who didn't really do a lot at Notre Dame. Mackenzie Milton, probably
he beat Michigan. He beat Michigan.
He beat Michigan, but Ian Book was definitely the superior.
Oh yeah, Ian Book's a way better quarterback
for the Fighting Irish. But it sucks for UCF because they had a good thing going with Mackenzie Milton, but that injury,
it's very unfortunate. Milton was the heart of soul of that team, and
can't forget about a couple years ago, Shaquem Griffin.
True. As Smith gets brought down by Jurasik behind the line of scrimmage, thrown down. And that's going to be a huge loss on the play.
His own backfield by Ben Jurasik.
Jurasik hasn't had the big explosive night we were expecting, mostly because the Eagles haven't been able to successfully pass the ball, so we haven't heard him in that regard. But on defense, he's been making a lot of plays, had a lot of tackles, a couple sacks here and there. He's been playing well.
Yes, he has. He had that huge couple of plays offensively where he just bulldozed players in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, but it feels like so long ago. This game's had a couple delays here.
Because it was so long ago. That's almost coming up on 3 hours ago.
Yes, but they were those will definitely make the highlight reel.
As Smith takes it, and he gets brought down behind the line of scrimmage once again.
Seems like Garces is just really feeling defeated right now.
Dylan Parcher with the tackle.
Yeah, Garces is really feeling defeated. There's almost no one left in that student section of theirs. They filed out early. And I don't blame them because this has not been a great showing for the Rams.
Yeah, it was so promising for them. It was 0-0 at halftime. We had a good game.
Yeah, we did. Well, I wouldn't call it good. It was close.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a lot of promise coming into the season for the Rams. You got a new head coach in Paul Golo who had tremendous success at Bakersfield High. And in his first game, has been able to replicate it with this new squad of his.
And another run up the middle, and it's going to bring up 4th and very long, and you know they're punting it.
Yes. Surprised they didn't try and punt on 3rd down again. We saw that. Probably won't see that again this game or season. If we see that again, I'd be shocked.
Gutierrez is going to go back to receive the punt.
Gutierrez again back for the Eagles.
As the clock continues to tick down. Low snap. Bad punt. And
Garces not able to get anything going right.
Yeah, it goes out of bounds at the 38 of their own. So the Eagles are going to have fantastic field position.
Yeah, they've had fantastic field position for the majority of the game. But they've only been able to capitalize twice. In that last drive, they didn't really have great field position. They were back at their own 2-yard line. They were able to run their way all the way down the field with the first run by Stevenson and then the next 6 by Wadenbarger, who ended up scoring. And I feel like you got to keep it on the ground, let the clock run out, and especially you've been running the ball well.
Yeah, Wadenbarger's still in the game. And you know he had to be.
Got to be.
7:24 to go here in the 4th quarter. Eagles lead 15-0.
So, player coming in late for the Rams.
As Wadenbarger gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage, doesn't gain anything.
Yeah, it looked like the Rams were scrambling on defense to find their players. Could have been a huge benefit to the Eagles. They're unable to capitalize. bring up 2nd and 10.
Field looks good for this Mission Bowl. Normally we see the end zones painted, but this time we only see the
Go with the stripes this time.
stripes. I'd like to see him do the checkered like Tennessee one time.
I think we have done that, correct? If I'm
I believe we have
remembering.
too, but it's been a while, you know?
Yeah, we haven't done it. We'll hopefully get to see it at some point this season. You know, we've had various. We've had the BCHS, we've had the Eagles. Also on the logo, we've had the BC, and then like a cross. We've had the Eagle logo, or we've had no logo. We've had various different.
Yeah, we've had the Eagle logo with pink for breast cancer awareness.
Yes, still seems like they're still trying to figure out the right combo here for the logo.
I don't think it's like finding the right combo. I think we're just like the University of Oregon is with football uniforms. We're just like the football field. We randomly paint.
Sometimes that's not that bad. Speaking of uniform combinations, the Eagles have blue, white, and black uniforms. Right?
Oh, and black, yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to see him get white helmets. I feel like that'd be so clean.
Yeah, that might look nice. I like the wings. I feel like that's a nice look.
Yeah. Be like the Oregon white helmets, like
the chrome.
Yeah, the chrome.
The chrome looks nice. I would also maybe some yellow uniforms.
Ooh, those
some gold uniforms could be interesting.
I keep going back.
If Oregon can do it, we can do it.
I keep going back to Oregon. The wings on the shoulder patch. That would be so nice.
I like that. I do like the Eagles uniforms. And on the other side, Garces, I believe they switched over from Adidas to Nike or to Under Armour this season for their uniforms.
Jurassic is way. It went over the fence.
That's why
it went into the stands.
He's not going to Stanford for his punting ability. It's for his tight end ability. But still, he's the only punter. I was talking to him yesterday. He's the only punter that BCHS has.
Personal foul against the Rams.
But there is going to be a personal foul, which just really hurts the Rams. Trying to get every single yard that they can get.
Yeah, and it gives the Eagles a first down.
Oh, and well, it definitely hurts Garces. They don't even have the ball anymore because of stupid penalty.
Kyle, that's been this game. Penalties.
Yeah, lots of penalties. But in the second half, I feel like there hasn't been as many penalties that have been letting them play. And with that, the Eagles have been taking advantage of it in the run game, and they have a chance to strike once again and just further cement and put this game away.
Gamboni takes snap, handoff to Wanbarger. Wanbarger up the middle for a gain of 5.
Ball carrier.
And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 5.
Tackled by
here with 5:35 to go left in this long Mission Bowl game.
I feel like since the delay, it's actually gone pretty quick. It's been more exciting. There's actually been some action on offense for the Eagles.
Yeah,
there's been a couple of big hits as well, some good plays. So
Wanbarger, the offensive spark, running the ball.
Yeah, coming in as the third-string running back with the injuries to Stevenson and Raymond. He's really taking advantage of his opportunity here.
Gamboni takes snap, throws to Gutierrez on the screen, but Gutierrez drops the ball.
Yeah, it looked like that could have been a big play there for the Eagles. Had plenty of room, just had to beat one guy. Had a blocker there as well.
Yeah, minus the interceptions, Gamboni has had an okay game. A lot of drops.
Yeah, there's been a lot of drops. That certainly doesn't help him. You know, there have been, he's made a couple bad throws that could be costly once the Eagles play some tougher competition down the road. Like next week they got CVC, who's now a member of Division III and will probably be the Eagles' main challenge with San Joaquin out of there.
As they hand off to Wanbarger, and Wanbarger gets hit, blowing the whistles, got away, and He was called down. The clock continues to run. So we see more and more cars leave and more people start to leave the stands.
Well,
Bring up fourth down for the Eagles.
I don't know why they're staying around. I feel like this has turned into a good ending.
It's a happy ending.
It's a happy ending, exactly.
It's my last Mission Bowl as a student here at BCHS.
It's a sad day. A lot of lasts this year for Unite.
Yep. As Wanberger gets the carry and gets the first down inside the 5.
Inside the 5-yard line.
Gets stopped once and then comes right back with another big run.
And that's an Eagle.
And the Eagles are looking to put the exclamation point on this Mission Bowl victory.
As the clock goes under 4 minutes. As the ball's inside the 5. See the heavy set coming onto the field now for the Eagles.
First and goal. Ball spotted at the 3.
Gamboni hands it off. Wattenbarger into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles!
Second touchdown for Wanbarger makes this game 21-0. Wanbarger, we didn't really expect him to be at running back at the start of this game, but he's come in and he's done a great job so far.
Yeah, he's been the story of the game.
He's really been the only one providing any semblance of offense here. You know, they've had trouble throwing the ball. But the rushing game has been solid for the Eagles.
As the kick is good. 22-20. The Eagles lead.
I feel like the main story of this game is that the Eagles were able to make adjustments at halftime, and in that delay, Garces just have tried to stay with exactly what they were doing, but it hasn't been working. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the loss of their quarterback, Campbell. They're just stuck having to try and pound it through, but the Eagles have just done a great job of being even more physical than the Rams, and that's caused the Rams to have a big fat 0 on the scoreboard.
And not only losing their starting quarterback, but they're losing their backup quarterback here tonight with the concussion. And since the injury, they have had nothing.
Yeah, if Isaiah Bell and Campbell aren't able to return for the Rams, it's going to be a long season for them because they've got a tough schedule. They have to play San Joaquin Memorial. It's one of the best teams in the section. I know, and then they're in the Power League. They're in the SYL. So they'll have to face up against the likes of Liberty, BHS, Centennial, all those schools. So they have a tough road ahead of them.
They're having a trophy.
As Garces fields the kick, goes down the sideline, and they're going to get the ball just past the 30-yard line. 3:11 to go. Eagles lead 22-0 in this long Mission Bowl. Things starting to die down. Eagles knowing that there's victory ahead.
Yeah,
and it'd take a miracle for Garces to win right now.
If you would look at the ESPN matchup probability thing, it would say 99% BCHS at this point.
Hey, you know that's not.
There's always a 1% chance. I've seen it happen before.
Yes,
in various different instances.
Have you seen the poster in Mr. Chai's room
about the Texas A&M
UCLA
victory in 2017? Mr. Chai once again living in the past for his UCLA football. You got to look to the future, which could be promising for UCLA. It should be promising for UCLA because you're UCLA. You should be good at football.
As there's a fumble, Doss hops on it.
And I thought that the Eagles had already put the exclamation point on this game.
Fumble recovered by Noah Doss.
Just another one there as Noah Doss recovers the fumble, and that makes it Garces' 5th. A whopping 5 turnovers in that game. That's never going to get it done if you want to win a football game.
Yeah, and it's been absolute dominance by the Eagles defense. Garces hasn't had anything. And, you know, the football players were talking about this all week. They were saying, we're going to win. We're going to win. They're not going to score. And look at it here.
They have not scored.
Garces has not scored. It's 22-0.
Yeah. So far it seems like the Eagles have come prepared and ready to play, while the Rams seem to just have been asleep the entire game.
And Jaden Huggins is now in the game at quarterback as he hands it off to Wanbarger. Wanbarger plows his way and gets 3 yards on the carry.
Jaden Huggins handed the ball off Wanbarger.
I'm just waiting for the day that Mr. Chai brings up how Troy Aikman is like the best quarterback of all time. He already brought it up to us today that the Dolphins are going to be great just because of Josh Rosen.
Yeah, Josh. I do respect Josh Rosen for having the jacuzzi in his dorm room. That's a power move right there. But I feel like maybe in the new system that he could get something going there. I believe the other quarterback for the Dolphins, they signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, I believe, Fitzmagic, and you know he's going to get his.
Whose hit stick was better, Ben Urosix or Ryan Fitzmagic?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, like, Urosix was more powerful, but Fitzmagic's is more iconic, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yes, it's got to be a little more iconic. More people have seen that one.
Got to get Ben's to go viral.
Yeah. No, we've had a couple of big hits here.
Sports Center Top 10?
I'll try it. That'd be, if they use this footage, that would be our 2nd time on ESPN, unless you have another experience that I'm unaware of.
Nope, that was my one experience. As they hand off to Wanbarger, Wanbarger gets brought down at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, first time they haven't been able to get a first down there. But this game's over, so it does not matter. We're under a minute left here with the Eagles up 22-0. You know, it started off slow, but it started to pick up for the Eagles. Didn't ever pick up for the Rams.
Yeah, and on this 4th down, if the Eagles get this a first down, the game's over.
It is over. It's really over anyway.
I mean, it's really over, but it'd be the last play.
99.9% has changed to 100%.
As Wanbarger does not get the first down, so the clock will stop in.
He's got to be out there, but right now he's really killing that yards per attempt average, you know. But since he was the 3rd string running back, and with Stevenson and Raymond out.
And actually, that is going to be the last play of the game. So the Eagles win the Mission Bowl by a score of 22-0. 3 straight years, a three-peat for them. And man, what a year it's been. Or 3 years it's been broadcasting the Mission Bowl. Very exciting. Kyle, you have a little bit of memory. It was your first ever game broadcasting. It was the Mission Bowl.
So it brings up a lot of good memories, and another good memory here. As the Eagles win once again. In my 3 years of being at BCHS in football, we have never lost to Garces. I believe there's going to be a trophy presentation later, so stick right here as we wrap this game up.
All right, we're going to go out to center field, and we're going to have a trophy presentation. Let's go.
All right, so the trophy presentation is going to go on.
Congrats, BCHS. Thank you, Wade.
See? And we are here for our post-game show. Eagles win by a final score of 22-0. Kyle, tell me what's looking good for this upcoming season.
Well, at the end of the game, the rushing game looks really good for the Eagles. When Jess Wanbarger came in, he really lighted a spark, and the Eagles' offense is getting 10 yards every time he touched the ball. So that's a very positive thing for the Eagles. And you also got to look at the Eagles' defense. Gave up 0 points to this Garces team, so that's a great job on their part. There was only 2 first downs that Garces had. So that's just an incredible job on the defense's part. But there's still a lot of things to work on offense and all around. But it's looking like the Eagles can make some noise once again.
Yeah, they definitely got to improve that offense as they look towards CVC next week. You want to preview that matchup?
Yeah, it should be a good one. Last year, CVC actually beat BCHS here in Bakersfield. Now they're going to be traveling up to Visalia where they take on the Cavaliers in what should be another good tightly contested matchup between 2 rival schools.
Yeah, we go from the Mission Bowl to the Milk Bowl. Should be a lot of exciting stuff. Trophy presentation going to be coming up, but it's been a blast to broadcast this Mission Bowl. Anything else you want to add on?
It didn't start off great. It's all about how you finish, and right now the Eagles finished better, so that's all I got for you.
As the trophy presentation has just happened, as Jarecki is lifting the trophy in the air. As the Eagles players go and celebrate with that beautiful Mission Bowl trophy. So that'll do it for this one. Eagles win by a score of 22-0 in this Mission Bowl. We'll see you guys next week for CVC after this. I'm Nate Jarecki with Kyle Gwynn, signing off.